Anna from JestPaint. Today we're going to be doing an exciting demo with
Kristen!
What are you going to be demoing, Kristen?
I am going to be demoing the Koi and Lotus Tattoo Pro, and I will be using Endura airbrush paint.
Yeah.
So Tattoo Pros are these new lines of stencil by Weiser. And he has created an awesome line where all the stencils come with like negatives and positive parts so that you can do a realistic looking tattoo. And then he includes a sheet so that you can see how the final product should look on once it's on your skin. So Kristen will show you how to use them, and she's going to be using Endura, which is tattoo ink by European Body Art. This is a long-lasting alcohol-based ink, and it should last anywhere from like 3 to 7 days, and it's waterproof and sweat-proof. So we'll give it a go and see how it goes. Alrighty?
Alrighty.
Alright, so we're gonna hear a little bit of the airbrush noise now in the background, but should be fine.
Is that enough spin?
Yes.
First I'm going to position the stencil where I want it, and then I'm going to go around the edges, but I'm not going to go too dark. You can always add, but you can't take away.
And Endura smells like a delicious candy from your childhood. It's really good smelling.
It's really nice. It flows easily on your airbrush, and we have it in the large 4-ounce bottles and the 2-ounce bottles, so you have a lot to choose, plenty of colors to choose from, so that's exciting. And these Tattoo Pros also come in several different designs, and like the kind of most popular tattoo designs, skulls and roses and the koi fish and octopuses and all sorts of things. You can go to JestPaint.com to check on all the designs.
Can you use Endura to paint your face?
No, it's not recommended really to use it on your face because it's really hard to remove since it's designed to be long lasting. So we recommend just using it on the body, you know, arms, legs, back, just not on your face. If you want to use it on your face, on the European Body Art line, you can go and use Vive, which is really good, and we'll demo later. So Kristen has done the fish now, and if she wanted to use like 2 different colors, she could have used these this part here to put a background color in, and then spray the koi fish on top with a different color, but we're trying to keep it simple and short for the video, so we'll just go with one color. So now she's picking one of the other little pieces, and she's gonna be adding a little bit of a background, some kind of like water splashes, and it takes a little bit to get used to these stencils because they're not the regular stencils that are just like or round or square and have a lot of surface to actually hold the stencil on while you're airbrushing. In this kind of stencil, you really have to walk it with your fingers, which means that you choose one area that you're gonna work on, put your fingers around and airbrush there, and then slowly, without letting the stencil shift, you move your fingers up, down, or side to side, and you know, to work on the different areas like Kristen is doing right now. That way you make sure that you get a nice and accurate print. So of course it's in general easier to work on flatter surfaces, so the arm and legs are gonna give you just a little bit more trouble because you have to do a little more of walking with your fingers. Flat areas like the back are a little bit easier to work with, so if you're just starting, you can practice first on the back, and once you get that done, then you can move on to an arm or a leg.
pretty.
So she's adding some really nice background, and you guys can see how just realistic this looks, and it's not your typical stencil. It really, you know, has a beautiful style, airbrush, tattoo style, like a real tattoo style. So teens love them.
Do you think this is gonna last for like a day or 2 days?
Well, it should last anywhere from like 3 to 7 days, but like everything, it depends a little bit. You know, if you have oily skin or if you got lotion on your skin, it's always better to wipe the skin with an alcohol wipe before you start. And now we have Kristen's arm in front of us, but there we go. And then, you know, if you're in a hot tub, it might last a little bit less time than, you know, if you're not in a hot tub or if you go to the beach. But it's a pretty long lasting, it's one of the one of the best inks that we have right now as far as
long lasting
durability. I found the word.
And it smells so good.
And it smells good, which is it's cool, or at least for us.
It's
So
like
Kristen is just adding the little details that come on the stencil. On the main stencil, you have the little stars and little like bubbles, and you know, you can play around with how you position your stencil. There's not one way of doing it, and that's kind of the cool part. You do have freedom to be creative and choose how to use your stencil. So even if you use the same stencil on every person, you can still get different effects and a different design depending on the colors you choose and how you layer all the patterns. So that's a pretty cool thing too, so it doesn't look like just repetitive. Remember, when you airbrush, you gotta choose how you move your stencil, so you can use your stencil as a shield for the things that are already painted on the skin or not, if you want to have that overspray as part of your effect, or if you don't want to have any overspray. And you can always tape off a part of your stencil if you feel like you don't want to use it, or you really don't want any overspray or anything like that. And of course, the lower you keep your PSI and the closer you keep the gun to the stencil, the less of an overspray you're gonna have. So that's looking really cool, Kristen. And then if you wanna make it last even longer, you can set it using any kind of setting powder, like even baby powder works, or you know, you can buy the makeup's kind of setting powders. Kristen just turned off our airbrush, so that helps with the talking. But that's here is what Weiser gave us as far as, you know, how it should look, and you'll get these when you buy the stencil, and that's what Kristen did. It looks pretty cool. So thank you so much. And we hope to be able to do more videos like this with our super airbrush specialist, Kristen. Yay!
Yay!